Night Vision. Following clues left by our ancestors, we unbury the past to reveal a knowledge of unfathomable value, putting us just a little closer to our own true birthrights. From the secret history of a possible bloodline of Jesus Christ, the secret history of America's founders, to the secret history of extraterrestrial interaction on our planet, here to bring light to the night. Your host for Night Vision Radio, Renee Barnett.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I hope you're going to enjoy the show tonight as much as I am, because I have a fabulous guest on tonight. One of my favorite YouTubers, and I stalk people. So I actually stalked him down, got hold of him, and he actually agreed to come on. So we've got a wonderful psychic tonight, and you may know him from his YouTube channel, Arthur Ease Your Mind, or maybe even his website by the same name. But he's with us today. We're going to consult with him on some big questions, some general questions that affect all of us. But we're also going to hear how he got started in this psychic business and some of the little experiences or not so little experiences that he's had along the way. So we will welcome Arthur. Hey.
Hi.
You, the very lovely and talented Arthur.
I love you. You're a stalker. I love my stalkers. Thank you.
I am a stalker. It's like I said, I want to have him on my show. And I thought, okay, I'll find him, So tracked you down, and I'm very, very happy that I did.
Well, I have no life, so of course I had to do this.
Well, you and me both. I mean, this is my life. This is it right here. But we've got lots of stuff going on in the world and in the country, and
you do
in the world and outside of the world, hopefully. So we'll get into some of that a little bit later, but maybe if you could share some of your early experience. And I'm also going to try to pull a fast one here. And I'm going to take myself off screen while you get started. And I'm going to go open the door and let the dog in that I forgot, who is yelling at the door.
Okay.
If you don't mind.
I have no mind.
A little bit about early Arthur. And
well, I always say that every village has an idiot. Hi. But no. How did I get started as a psychic? Well, it actually started as a kid. I tease and say that for the first 5 years of my life, I thought my name was Stop Doing That. I would go up to people in grocery stores or department stores and just start talking to them because I felt I needed to tell them things. And my father would just like pick me up and we'd end up in the parking lot or the other side of the store and him yelling at me, stop doing that. So, you get kind of a phobia, like, I better stop doing this. And then I'm originally from the Philadelphia area, and we had moved to Indianapolis and for first grade and second grade. I can't hear you.
Did they have like a religious objection to it? Or
no, it was just like they were just horrified that they didn't understand me,
And when they told you don't do that, did they say why? Or
no, they just said stop doing that. It's because you're walking up to strangers and that whole thing. And it's like my mom was image conscious, let's say, put it that way.
Yeah.
And so it was like, what will the neighbors think? What will people see? He's a weird kid, so there you go.
Yeah.
So we'd moved to Indianapolis as a little kid, and actually it was in second grade when I walked up to the nun to her desk. And in those days, it's like if somebody were to walk up to the judge in a courtroom, you get arrested and all that kind of stuff. So just walking up to a nun without permission, it was like,
oh,
she was like, what do you want? And I'm a second grader, and like, it's like this, sister, hi, And it was like, I just said, you don't have to cry. There's no need to cry. Everything's going to be fine. Sister's going to be fine. And she's like looking at me like, Damien, go sit down. Like, so I went back to my desk, and as I was sitting,
crucifix?
Hmm?
Did she hold up a crucifix?
No, but that was in the front of the class. So actually, when I was sitting down, I was looking at it thinking, oh my God, I hope I don't end up like him. So anyway, as I was sitting down, the Mother Superior came over the loudspeaker. Now, this is in 1962, 63. And so they still had the wimple and gowns and were scary and all that kind of stuff. And so as I was sitting down, the Mother Superior came over the loudspeaker and said, may we all have a moment of silent prayer. Sister was just taken to the hospital. And he was rushed in an ambulance this morning and just now. And so everybody say prayers.
Oh,
and so steely-eyed nun was just staring at me. I'll never forget that look on her face, like, horrified almost. But then I just said, a little kid, you just keep on moving forward. You don't think about stuff. And so then the next day we're in church. Actually, we're saying, I believe it was a mass for the sister that had been taken to the hospital. She was, and so in those days, you had a clicker. So all the kids would line up, and then the nun would hit a clicker, and everybody do genuflect at the same time. And as we're genuflecting, I'm like, what is this? I'm feeling something in the back of my neck. So I turn around, and the nun was flicking holy water on me.
Oh my gosh.
Now, if I knew then what I knew now, I would have just said, sister, I'm not sizzling. Cut it out. And my name is not Damien.
You didn't start to melt like the
like
to the west, and
or like the cross didn't turn upside down, and the holy water in the font was
in your head didn't like spin around or anything.
No. It just spun when I was like, what's this? It's what,
Exactly.
But so anyway, so then you just go on, do what you do as a kid. But sister was fine, Apparently she didn't know her appendix had burst, and they thought sepsis was going to set in or whatever it was, and so but she was fine.
Wow.
And
but they hadn't even known there was anything wrong before you said that.
No.
That's what weird looks were all about. Like, how did you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I said before the Mother Superior announced it.
Yeah.
I told the nun not to cry. And so every now and then I feel they would ask me questions, and you're a little kid, you don't know what you're saying. You just say what comes to mind. And like, they were asking me questions, so I must have been good. I mean, come on. So then you put it away. When you're being called, you're told stop doing that and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean,
now when they said stop doing that, I mean, I can imagine that would like throw a wet blanket on what you were doing. But did it also kind of like, did your abilities kind of recede because you sort of
a little,
down? You locked them down?
I shut it down.
Yeah.
I mean, I still had instincts of certain things growing up, but I got all my degrees are in music, and after I graduated,
psychic. I mean,
yeah. Well, I always say you have to be psychic to be a composer because you're writing music before it's heard.
Yeah,
just like a writer. So I graduated college, then I was working on a musical, trying to get it off Broadway. It didn't happen. It ran in Philadelphia, but it didn't really go anywhere from there. And one of the producers I was talking to in New York said, nothing's happening here. Why don't you go to LA and go to UCLA and study film scoring? I'll introduce you to a couple of producers and blah, blah, blah. So we're talking about like 1984. So I came to Los Angeles for the first time, and the class was closed. But she introduced me to a composer who then called the head of the department and said, put him in. Because I played my demo tape for him, and he'd like 9 Emmys. I mean, he's a good, wonderful guy. So then, but then, you know, in those days when you wrote music, you had to do it by hand. There's no computers. There's no nothing like that. And then you had to hire composer. I mean, an orchestra to do your demo tapes. And one thing led to another. And I ended up getting a job as a reporter to pay bills. And that
A reporter.
Yeah, reporter. Then that kind of became my career for 13 years while working on music. And
A journalist type reporter,
Mhm.
or
yeah. So
for newspaper?
for a magazine.
Magazine.
So then I moved back to New York in 87. And while I was in the New York office, I got a phone call from the bureau chief in New York. I mean, in Washington, called me and said, Gene Dixon wants to meet you. And I'm like, how, why, and what's going on? And she said she's looking for a writer to do a children's column for the New York Times Syndicate with her. And she works at the same magazine.
For those young whippersnappers out here that don't know who Gene Dixon is, she was an amazing, famous psychic. And she was consulted by
everyone,
presidents, heads of state, everyone. I mean, it was funny because at a time when people kind of didn't really accept, you know, psychics and all that sort of thing, she was like accepted as
well. In her day, as she explained, they didn't have the word psychic. It didn't exist as it does today. In her day, it was either you were a medium or you were an astrologer. That was it. So she called herself an astrologer, and she studied astrology and all that kind of stuff. It was actually the Jesuit priest who taught her everything she knew. And so I went to, and we're talking about January of 1988. So I went down, met with her, and the first thing out of her mouth was, "You have a twin sister like I do." So right away, I knew she's the real deal. I mean, there's no question. And she said, "Let me see your hands." "Oh, there's stars in your hands, just like I have." And we're looking at the hands. And then we realized there's a third party here to talk about the New York Times Syndicate thing. So we kind of went back to that. I went back to my hotel room after the meeting, and she called me and said, "Look, I just cleared off the rest of my day. Come to my townhouse." And so I got there, and she said, the children's thing's not really going to happen, but I wanted to meet you. And like, okay. She says, "You know, you're psychic." And we were talking about stuff. And so it was like, she opened my eyes to a lot of things. And I spent 2 days with her. And I kind of compare it to like composer Stephen Sondheim, when he was a young kid, said he had an afternoon with his mentor was Oscar Hammerstein. And he said in that one afternoon, he learned everything what it was to be a composer for Broadway. Structure, everything. And so in those 2 days, I felt like I was downloading all this information from her. And she's giving me it was just insane, you know. And I learned a lot. But also she was working on a new op piece for the New York Times, an op-ed. And she's like, "Could you look at this? I need to connect these two paragraphs. Can you do this?" And so I'm like, "Oh, easy." And so I typed it out. And like 3 days later, I'm looking at the New York Times, and that's my sentence. I mean, I writing for a magazine, and
sure,
and freelancing for Hello Magazine in Britain, but it was like, that's my sentence in the New York Times. So anyway, but I spent the 2 days with her, and she said, "Look, you're going to be going back to Los Angeles. You're going to still work on your music. You'll have a career with music, but also there'll be one day when you'll be reading for friends, and you'll just know that this is going to be like basically putting your shingle out." So I did move back to Los Angeles, and then I actually left the magazine. I had submitted a theme song for a TV show. They picked it up. And then they were looking for a writer and asked me if, and I had just kind of left the magazine in a way. And so she said, she had said, you're going to be doing television. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And so then it's like, would you like to be the writer? Could you be the writer for us? I said, sure. So I wrote 120 episodes of the show. Plus the theme song.
Only 120. Couldn't you?
What was I found funny is for 13 years I was a reporter and I wrote 120 episodes of a TV show and got a D- in creative writing in college. So explain that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, because I was concentrating on music at the time. So what happened was the show was basically, we'll just say, on hiatus. My dad had died. The show was on hiatus, and then 9/11 hit.
Oh.
I wasn't working. And after 9/11, the studios closed, everything was down.
Tell me about it.
And so
that's
when my friend said, well, didn't Gene Dixon tell you there'd be a day when you would know? I'm like, yeah. So I said, I think today's the day. And so that's when I saw an ad for a phone company looking for a psychic. And that was, back 23 years ago. And since then, I still have written music. I still have done stuff with in writing, but my main focus, especially, and Gene said I'd be doing it later in life. She also said you'll have an audience. So when I was writing the show, I thought, oh, this is what she means by I'll have an audience.
Right. But no, that wasn't it.
No. But then I was following this one psychic on YouTube, had a reading, and he said, when are you going to start YouTube? And I'm like, are you on crack? He said, I might be on crack, but you're going to just start a YouTube channel and you're going to start with guided meditations and take it from there. So I started doing.
Let me just interject here. Your guided meditations are wonderful.
Oh, thank you.
I have been listening and they are wonderful. And I was thinking as you were talking just now about those and the music that you chose. Now, did you compose?
I write all the music for them.
Oh my gosh, Arthur.
Well, it's not, but those are more like soundscapes, that airy fairy sounds, And then underneath so I write them. I have somebody that I kind of write with at times, but a lot of times it's like automatic writing, almost like the affirmations. It's like, I don't know where this came from.
Yes.
So you just channel it. And then
that psychic music thing.
And so then I put the music, I go to studio, do the voiceovers, then I do the music, and then I do the editing of the videos itself. And then I put it up on YouTube. And they're all free.
Really nice.
I have about 18 of them up there. And then underneath all of it, I also put a frequency of 528 hertz, which is a healing frequency. It's also the love frequency. It heals DNA. It just opens your heart to manifestation and stuff like that. So underneath.
What frequency is that?
528.
528. Mm-hmm. I see those, those videos that are set at different, and I've seen 442 seems to be a big one. 888. Is that one, or is that just?
I think it's 999. There's a lot. I mean, there's many. There's called. God, I just had I'm old. I just had a fart. But.
Well, it is getting towards sunset, honey.
Yeah, I'm sunsetting. Sorry, but no, it's. So anyway,
if you're sunsetting, I must be midnighting.
Well, no. So I started the YouTube channel doing the guided meditations. Then he had me on as a guest on his channel, and then it was a couple months later, someone else had me on her channel, and then it took off. And so I've been doing shows on YouTube now for over just about a year.
Wow.
And by the grace of God, I mean, I have over 8,000 followers, and I've just started.
Yeah. I think I caught you first when you were on someone else's show, collaborating, and I've seen you collaborating with different people.
Mhm.
And I said, this guy's everywhere.
And then I also do the solo shows, and then I have on YouTube, I have memberships. So once a month I give an hour reading to people, private readings and through chat. And then we have a contest every month for give away 2 free half-hour readings. So
That is great.
and if anybody's interested in reading, just go to my website and then all the information's there. So
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are going to let them know right now.
ArthurEaseYourMind.com. Sometimes I want to say it's Arthur lost his mind.
Yeah,
But
well,
Arthur Eases Mind. So basically, that's how I started. I mean, for the last 20 plus years, I've been reading and have had interesting clients and stuff. But this is, like I tell everyone, I'm 67 years old, reinventing myself on YouTube. Who knew?
don't believe it. Go ahead.
Korean skincare products.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh,
so
really?
anyway, so yeah, and then you found me, and so it's been interesting.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I think I picked up um, on the fact that you were in Southern California, and also that you had done some work in the television business. And I
Mhm.
thought, oh, this guy, we're going to relate. I'm going to call him because we're neighbors. Now I can really stalk you. Hey.
Here's a typical LA story. When I was working on the show, it was over at Universal, and I'm the writer, and they're calling me at 7:30 in the morning, like, "Where are you? You have to get here. Where are you? We're about to start filming." I'm like, "I can't get there right now." They're like, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm on the lot," but at the time they were filming Jurassic Park 3
Oh, wow.
on the back lot, and I'm sitting there going, "I've got to wait for the T-Rex to cross the street."
Was that Universal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, out by the Psycho House. So it was like, I'm waiting for the T-Rex to cross the street, so I can't get there.
Yeah.
How the chicken cross the road? Well,
I
how
was
the
going to say,
T-Rex cross the
why
road?
did the T-Rex cross the street?
Yeah.
Oh,
So there
that's
you go.
really cool.
But even those shows, it was kind of like I would use my intuition when I'd write them, and
Yeah.
sometimes I just let them write themselves, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Not
it makes
necessarily
sense.
automatic writing like Agatha Christie did with Mousetrap, or Noel Coward did with Blythe Spirit, or H.G. Wells used to, go to the park with an empty notebook and come back with a full.
Yeah.
Remember writing it. So it's all connected. It really is, and we're all part of this big connection.
I can totally relate to that. With writing and with writing music, and or creating music. It's
Mhm.
And I noticed, we were talking about musicians and music being psychic. During the COVID pandemic, as you said,
Mhm.
Hollywood was Deadsville.
Well,
Not,
after 9/11, then it started picking up, and then COVID hit, and it was just like,
yeah, yeah. And I mean, there was nothing going on. I mean, it was actually not legal for you to go into work, at that time. And so I was working with some really cool old colleagues of mine, and they came up with this idea for this really incredible live stream event that we did, because you couldn't go out and shoot for TV. So
Mhm.
we shot this. We shot a few of them, but this one particular one was on Halloween night, and it
Mm.
was on the Queen Mary.
Oh,
And
that's slightly haunted.
yeah, just slightly. And we had all these bands there too. So it was a big Halloween bash and ghost hunt and everything. And it was so amazing. I mean, there were lots of different people that were on camera and going through the ship and everything. But it was the musicians that drew all the freaking activity. It was crazy, especially Calico Cooper, Alice Cooper's daughter.
Yeah.
She has her own rock band. I mean, the Frank Box and everything else just kept, going to her, talking to her. And it was so funny. And it was obvious they liked her.
Mm-hmm.
They felt a kinship with her or something like that. But there were other musicians, and it just seemed like that. But there is a connection between, I guess, art.
Yeah, but also, it's like I was talking before the show, a lot of it has to do with frequencies. Like people that see auras, why do some people see auras and others don't? It's like, well, when you raise your vibration, basically, you're operating a different frequency, and a fast vibration is positive. A negative vibration is very slow and sluggish.
Hmm.
So I always equate it to when you love yourself the right way, you raise your vibration, you gain clarity, and then become invisible to the Jerry Springer people because you're no longer on their frequency.
Wow. That's an advantage.
Yeah. So it's, and in addition to the psychic readings I give to people, I also try and move them forward in their lives in other ways too. It's like, as a psychic, I can say, look, this is what's going to happen in October, November. We're in the middle of June. And if October, November come around and they're in the same spot, frequency, or same, everything's the same, those predictions may not happen. Because in order for this, they have to grow. You have to keep on moving forward. So I give a lot of exercises to people in addition to, and the one lesson I've really been teaching a lot of people lately is about, and it sounds airy-fairy, but gratitude. I mean, yes, I went to Catholic school. We were taught to pray to God. Everybody prays to God. Then I realized no one prays to God. We all pray to Santa Claus. Can I have this? Can I have that? Please,
Yeah.
please.
Praying for that Mercedes.
Yeah, and then clients will call, I pray to God, and he doesn't answer I'm like, yeah, he does answer. The answer is no. But, but then, so you help people evolve, through different ways. And what I've learned is it's when we are grateful for the good, the bad, and the ugly in our lives, no matter what it is, it gets us that much closer to where we're supposed to be.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, even the most horrible circumstance.
Yeah. It's like the person that
will find gifts within it.
Well, people that call me and say, oh my God, I lost my job. I'm like, you've been complaining about this job for 3 years. Thank God. Now you can get the dream job. And the dream job will come through if, when you manifest it. And the thing is, when you manifest, you don't manifest for now. I mean, for later, you manifest for now. It's already here. Law of the universe. And I equate it to, you have a bank account with your name on it, and the file says success and abundance. It's there. How do we withdraw it? What's the withdrawal slip?
Yeah.
It's called gratitude, the right frequency, and when the time is right.
Yeah.
It's not our time. It's universal time or God's time, whatever you want to call it. And so then when it's like the person says, that should have been my job. Oh my God, why did they get that? It's like, no, don't do that. Because that puts you in a mindset of scarcity, and you won't get what you're needing. When you're happy for the other person for achieving that goal, it brings you that much closer to your dreams and ambitions and what you want in life. So it is a matter of a mindset. I mean, I'm not talking about running around like Pollyanna. So yeah. Details.
That would be,
it's that idea of being grateful.
Yes, I agree. And
I tell everyone, before you go to bed at night, before you close your eyes, just say thank you. I forget the monk's name who basically said, if you want to get into heaven, there's only one prayer that'll do it. Thank you.
Wow.
So there's a lot more to that journey, but what I'm saying is, so as a psychic, I've seen many changes, like I told my friends that a number of years ago that Hillary Clinton was not going to be in the White House. And they were very angry with me and wouldn't talk to me. And I said, no, Trump's going to be in the White House. Now, I didn't say that she's going he's going to basically win. I just said he'll be in the White House.
Right.
And so then it happened, and the rest is history.
And of course, that was, against all the polls that were coming out at the time. Everyone was predicting the election to go the other way.
My friends thought my liver was backing up from the 70s or something. So how does he know? But I said, look, when people say, what do you do? I said, I just make it up and hope it happens. But it's hard to explain how it's like, do you ever watch Jeopardy and all of a sudden it's like, I know that answer. I don't know why, but I know it.
Yeah.
That's it's like claircognizant. It just happens.
Yeah.
Or I hear things sometimes, and, like I was doing a show with somebody once and they're asking, well, has this thing started? And Karen Carpenter's saying it's only just begun. There's things like that. And I tell people I'm medium rare because, like I said, some people want Uncle Archie and Aunt Gladys comes through. It's not like you can dial up a specific person. It's like whoever's ready to come through. You put it out there like a wagnet. So
like an invitation.
Mm-hmm.
And then
so that's why sometimes during private readings I will do mediumship, but a lot of times for the YouTube I've been doing more, but I still say I'm medium rare. So I hope that explains who and what I do and why I'm here.
Yeah. And then so basically people could go to you strictly for a reading,
mm-hmm.
or they can go to you for your intuitive.
Well, I don't tell people I'm psychic because they'll say prove it. I just say I talk to dead people and angels. They walk away real fast. But no, it's basically I do my readings either by phone or by Zoom.
So,
I don't do them in person because I don't want to get it made.
So they could be anywhere and still be able to get it.
I just spoke to a client yesterday. She's in Hong Kong. Another one was in Ireland. Another one was in Dubai.
Wow.
So all the expats. But and Zoom's a wonderful thing. So I do a half hour, an hour readings. But it's about helping people get to where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people say, well, do I make a right? Do I make a left? What do I do? I'm like, get a machete and forge your own path forward. Why follow somebody else's path?
Yeah.
And so I help them realize what their path is, where they're supposed to be sometimes. So it's.
Have you had people that were sort of like on one trajectory, but they really should have been doing something completely else, and you were able to sort of identify that?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Or
when I tell people, when I give a prediction, when I give a reading, a lot of times I'll say, now just let it go. Like I had a client once back in the 90s where, remember when everyone was driving a green car? An emerald green car. Everybody had one.
Yes.
So he'd asked me, will I be getting a new car? I said, well, I see you with a newer car. Yes. What kind? I said, just let it come to you. I feel German and it'll be green. So just let it happen. A month later, he called. He was like boasting and really happy. He's like, it happened. I said, oh, really? He goes, yeah, I saw a Jetta on sale. And I bought it new and it's a great car and it's green. I'm like, oh, so it's a Volkswagen. It's German. Good for you. And he was like, okay. A month later, he called screaming. You knew. I'm like, well, I told you not to try and make it happen. Just let it happen. Apparently what happened was his cousin called and said, look, my wife and I, we're pregnant. We're pregnant. Would you like to take over the payments of the BMW? You can take over the payments.
Wow.
The green one. We only have a year left on it, but you can just have it and just pay it off.
Wow.
And he's like, I said, this is where I was cautioning him. Don't try and make it happen. Just go with the flow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eventually he did turn in.
I think
the Jetta and got the BMW.
I think sometimes we have difficulty in just allowing.
Mm-hmm.
just, not trying to influence one way or the other or push in one way or the other, but
Yeah.
just allowing things to
Unfold.
unfold and flow. Exactly.
Because when you try and make something happen, then what happens is disappointment sets in.
Yes.
And when disappointment sets in, that's going to the past.
Yeah.
What could have been, might have been, what should have been. This is the three-way with Ben and Jerry on the sofa with Netflix. So that's when you realize you're in depression. But then people go to the exact opposite of depression, which is anxiety. The anxiety is about, oh my God, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Oh my God. And that's when I tell people, Chicken Little, sit down. It's only an acorn. Besides, that's my job. So how do we stay out of depression? How do we stay out of anxiety? Is by staying in the middle, which is the present. That's why I tell people, don't be patient. Patient comes from a Latin word that means to suffer. We want you to be present, because when you're present, you're focusing on what's in front of you, you're raising your vibration, you're working on yourself, and you become invisible to Jerry Springer.
Wow. I think sometimes some of us, me included, have trouble just staying in the present. You're always,
please, I choke on my halo all the time. I mean, it's I'm human,
Yeah.
But you learn. And a lot of the calls are about, do I got the job? Is it going to be my boyfriend? Are we getting married or getting divorced? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I try and now people say, what are the names of your guides? I'm like, the guides don't tell you their names. You just know that it's like when you talk to yourself, it's not your voice. It's a different language, not a different language, but a different tone, a different, different, almost like a different type of like a foreign language, almost like, and translated to English or whatever. So I always tease and say, well, my guides are Manny, Mo, and Jack. That's what I call them. Yeah. So, and they giggle.
Do you have like the same guides all the time that go through life with you?
There are various ones. I mean, yeah, in a way, but sometimes if somebody's going through a financial thing, I can tell when the financial person comes through.
Oh, I see.
Or if somebody's working on a relationship stuff, the love doctor comes through, that kind of thing. And
specialties then.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So but I just give them the name of Manny, Mo, and Jack, and people giggle about it. So
like if you were talking with someone who had health concerns, would you connect with like some medical?
Well, yeah, in a way. But then first I say, when it comes to medical and stuff, I'm for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor.
Right.
And if it's really complex, I may suggest a healer for them that I know that I've worked with for many years. It's excellent. So, but certain things you can pick up.
Now, do you feel that, or can you see that we are evolving in any way in these matters?
Oh, we are.
That we are going to see more, healing modalities that have more to do with.
Well, not to sound too airy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go ahead. I was just.
But not to be too airy-fairy, but we are going through a shift. And after the two eclipses, especially after April, a lot of things are shifting, and a lot of people will notice that after April 8th, and then we had Neptune, and we had stuff going on with Pluto, and then Saturn, and solar flares, and also people are like just ready to just go to bed, and check out. And it's because when you're a highly sensitive person, you start feeling this stuff, and there's a shift that's going on, and over the next 3 years, you're going to find that there are some people that will not be able to handle it or be around. And so they may go to the other side, go to the other realm. Because when we go, it doesn't mean, nothing dies. It's another form. We're all spirit in human form. That's all it is. And spirit is pure love. So when people ask me about, oh, they mad at me on the other, it's like, they're not mad. They're having a party, and stuff like that. But
I don't think they, or at least it seems like, we miss them terribly, when we lose someone, from our lives. But I don't think they miss us like that. I think they love us.
They're pure love. But the thing is, there's still a connection. I mean, they still come and visit. They still come and watch. They still stop by.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they will communicate with us. A lot of times it's as simple as you have a question and all of a sudden you're watching something on TV and somebody says something, it's like, that's the answer. Like being clairaudient. Or if I have a friend whose husband passed away in a hit by a drunk driver who's on a motorcycle. And we're in the store and she's like, I really don't hear from my husband like I thought I would. And I just started laughing. I said, what's the problem? I said, listen to the music. She said, it's music. I don't listen to that crap. I said, but listen to it. Your husband was a rock and roller. That's a Muzak version of his rock and roll song. He's talking to you right now.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's that music connection again.
Well, it's being clairaudient. And you always hear about Claire this, Claire that, Claire this. It's not a group of, Claires that are on RuPaul Drag Race. It's a French term that came up in like 1780, I think, where Claire in French is clear.
Yeah.
Means clear. And voyance is vision in French.
Yeah.
So clairvoyance is clear vision. Clairaudience, clear hearing. Claircognizant, being cognizant of stuff, being clear about it.
Right.
And so there are different forms of being a psychic. Or abilities, and we all have, everyone's psychic. It's just that like everyone can play piano, but not everyone's going to end up like Horowitz,
right?
So, but we can work on it.
Yeah,
and
I think most of us, or a lot of us, maybe even all of us, have had those moments where either something incredibly seemingly coincidental happens, or we just have this feeling of knowing something is going to happen, knowing somebody's going to arrive, knowing something. And it's like, I've had that, and I think, I don't know why I know it, but I know it as well as I know my own name. This is going to happen. This is true. And it would, but then that's only like on a rare occasion. Not like you, when you've got stuff going on all the time.
Well, I learned to turn it off.
Yeah,
it's like I tell, look, I'll go to the grocery store. I just want to pick up stuff and put it in my grocery cart. I don't want to pick up stuff from people. Or one time I was getting my hair cut, and my friend said, "We're running late. Would you like a magazine to read?" It's like, no, there's enough people here.
That's hilarious.
But I do inject humor, and I'm kind of snarky. But the reason is because a lot of times people are very uptight, and so like, I'm calling about my boyfriend. Okay, what's the victim's name? Could you get them to laugh, then they let their guard down.
Exactly.
And they with them,
Yeah, they feel more comfortable and probably more open.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Well, I wonder if, we hadn't really had time to get much into some of the things that I wanted to get into, but that means you'll have to come back.
I have no life. I'll be back. Just
good. But I did want to see if I could ask you what the guides are telling us. As I said, we live in a divided world, certainly a divided country. And is there something that you or the guides could tell us that could apply to all of us? How do we heal what's going on, and how do we reunify?
Start by loving yourself for all the right reasons.
Hmm.
I'm not a religious person per se. I am, but even Jean would say religion is man-made, so it's going to be flawed. Spirituality is your gift from God.
That's it. Yeah, I totally.
So, love thy neighbor as thy love thyself,
Mm-hmm.
and the golden rule. And it starts at home. You just start loving yourself and not criticizing others. I mean, unfortunately, there's some people in this world that are not critical thinkers. They're just critical of people that don't think like they are.
Right.
But there's nothing you can do about that. Just send them love and light until they get it right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in the same time, each of us, we're each responsible for ourselves. Like no one out there is going to complete us. We have to complete ourselves.
Mm.
And then the people that show up in our lives, the right people, they've completed themselves. So we complement each other. And just out of nowhere, you can have a friend or companionship. And it's easy. Relationships shouldn't be difficult. Because we're all spirit, we're all connected. And we're all in this together. That's the one thing, that I feel will help this country is realizing, just stop. We're all in this together. No one's better than anyone else. We're all God's children. And God does not make mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree with that 100%. Now, I'm going to ask you something.
Ask.
About ETs. Are there, races of extraterrestrials out there who are keeping an eye on us,
Mm-hmm.
either for good reason or for nefarious reasons? Are we being watched? And if so, why?
But not like an ant farm.
That's good.
Well, first of all, they will not allow the use of nuclear wars. When they're like recently in Ukraine over the nuclear plant.
Yeah.
They've been spotting UFOs.
That's what I heard.
Because they're not going to let something happen.
Yeah.
Putin already knows they will not allow him to use nuclear weapons. So when they sent the thing to the moon, apparently it had nuclear stuff on it. It was blown up.
You're saying that Putin knows that extraterrestrial beings
will not allow him to use
nuclear warfare.
Oh, he's a fine little child. He'll try, but like I said, when they sent the stuff to the moon and it exploded.
Yeah.
But I know I sound like, I just, I'm nuts. But there have been encounters in my life where one time I was in Mount Shasta and I was walking with my dog and I started talking to this woman. Or she stopped me and started, oh, what a beautiful dog, and blah, blah, blah. We're talking. And we're having great conversations, and I realized, wait a minute, we're not talking. She's not moving her mouth. I'm not moving my mouth, but we're communicating. Telepathically, I guess you could call it. And that moment when I realized what was going on, she kind of like disappeared.
Wow.
I equate it to like when Jesus walked on the water.
Story. Yeah.
And Peter saw him and it's like, come on, join me. Come here. And so Peter gets out and he's walking on water. Then all of a sudden he's realized I'm walking on water. And he thinks about it. He starts sinking.
Yeah.
So it was almost like the minute I realized what was happening, the spell, I don't want to say spell, but it was broken.
Yeah. The connection
was broken.
That is, yeah. That's
so
wild.
I believe there are aliens amongst us. I mean, I'm in Los Angeles. You should go to this mall sometime. They're aliens, believe me. But well, so are you. But I don't think they're out to harm or anything like that. But they are watching. It's kind of like almost like, remember in the day the Earth stood still, where they said you're not going to use nuclear war.
Mm.
The world saw these robots to destroy the planet. That kind of indication that we're being watched because we're children.
Yeah, for sure.
But does the government have hidden UFOs and technology and stuff? I'll say yes to that. I haven't seen it, but I sense it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think.
Well, according to one of my sources, just kidding.
That's so cute.
Her name's Destiny.
Magic 8 Ball. Destiny.
And then I have my other girlfriend, Crystal, back there.
Oh, Crystal and Destiny.
Yeah.
They sound like they're from my home.
Jean used the crystal ball. Jean Dixon.
Did she?
Yeah, she scry. And like I teach people, I scry at night.
Yeah, I cry a lot at night. It makes my pillow wet.
No, scry, not cry.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Okay, gotcha.
I tell you, with the scrying thing, though, I remember, I've like stared into a mirror, stared into my own eyes, and seen, my face change, a completely different person of a completely different race and everything else, looking back at me. And I thought, oh my gosh, but it was kind of shocking. So I didn't really get into doing it that much. But what do you do scrying? Do you use a crystal ball?
Yeah, that's why I have it back there.
Yeah.
But not doing readings and stuff. I just do it for meditation purposes. And it's not like NEM, from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It's just basically use it as like, I don't use tarot cards. I understand tarot. I just don't go there. I mean, if I do use cards, I use
astrology. You use astrology, right? Or you
not as much. Like, I'm not doing charts and stuff like that.
Right.
But I will ask people, when's your birthday?
Yeah.
And so they think, oh, he's going to do an astrology reading. No. I ask for people's birthday so I know how to deliver the reading. If it's an Aries, Leo, I can rip off the Band-Aid. If it's a Pisces or Cancer female, I got to hold their hand. Here's the Kleenex. If it's a Capricorn, very analytic. Because it's how you deliver the reading so they can understand. And so if you understand the sign, you understand how to deliver.
Yeah.
That's why I ask for people's, birthdays and stuff like that.
You give them their medicine in the way that they can accept it. It's like, put a little bit of jelly on the spoon with the medicine for some people. Yeah, I totally get that, because people's personalities can make them.
But I would put the pill in the middle of the peanut butter, everything, and my dog would still just leave the pill in the
I know. But he just does that to annoy you, though.
Yeah.
But anyway, gosh,
it's all, like I said, we're all connected.
Yeah.
We're all psychic in our own way. It's just understanding that we're in this together. And if you send hate to someone, you're going to get it back tenfold.
Yeah.
And the other word that I tell everyone, it's a wonderful word, is hope. However, when you hope for something to happen, that's waiting for something in the future. It's also a negative. It may not happen.
Right. You're allowing for the possibility that it will not happen.
So it's a negative. So I tell everyone,
hope
to hold a snowflake. Know this is going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's half the battle. But then you have faith and just let it go.
Yeah.
And when you ask for something, it's always this or better.
Yeah. So then, not to put you on the spot at all,
Oh,
but
go ahead. Everybody else does.
do you see a point in time in the future where we will all get down off our high horses and, start communicating with each other and start respecting each other and showing love and care to each other?
I do feel there'll be time when instead of hate and bigotry,
Yeah.
the words empathy and compassion come into play.
Wow.
It's not tomorrow,
Yeah.
but it's not light years away either.
Right. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I'll still be around to witness it. That would be nice. If
Well,
not,
your
I'll be
life, I
watching it
mean,
from afar.
your sole contract is to live a long life and drive everybody crazy, and you're doing a great job. So go keep on going.
That is my job. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm going to put your website up one more time because you do give private readings.
Mhm.
You do remote readings, so it doesn't matter where
Well, it's
you
all
are.
by phone and all by or Zoom.
Yep.
And
And
yeah.
it doesn't matter where your location is.
Mhm.
Arthur can still help you out. So it's Arthur Ease Your Mind, all one word, .com.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm also on YouTube, as you know, at Arthur Ease Your Mind
Arthur Ease Your
on
Mind.
YouTube. And there I have a playlist of about 18 of the guided meditations that I've done.
I'm
So
recommending those.
go there, and if there's and they're free. So, but the fun thing is it's a video, but the opening is like, close your eyes. So don't worry about the video is not going to be like you're missing butterflies and streams and
No, yeah.
it's like a lava lamp on crack. It's
After
just
you told me don't watch the videos, of course,
Yeah.
I had to.
Like I said, it's a
So
lava
I
lamp on
would
crack.
lie there and then I would like open my eye and look over there. What's it doing now? Oh, it's that real pretty swirly thing.
Yeah.
So, but yes, the idea is to listen.
Well, to let go
Be.
and just follow and allow yourself to go into yourself
Yeah.
and heal yourself.
Yeah. That's all it is,
And people say, well, I fell asleep. It's like, so good. Your subconscious still heard it.
yes.
In fact, I have one guided meditation. It's called Success and Abundance and Success While Sleeping. So I tell people just put it on, put it really low so you don't even have to hear it.
Yeah.
And your subconscious will hear it. And
That's
you just
good.
loop it.
Well, I really recommend those because they're very well done. I mean,
Thank you.
The voice, the words, the music, which I know that you did. It's just it's all very, very, very nice and unobtrusive. Nothing in there to rattle you or shake you out of your reverie at all. So it's really nice. But we're going to have to go. We've gone over time again, so I have to tell Bill he's going to have to stretch my show. All right, Arthur. Thank
you so much, Renee. It was beautiful meeting you, and
Thank you.
And thank you for taking me along with your journey. I really appreciate this.
Oh, I appreciate you.
And thank you to all the viewers and
And
subscribers.
we got to come back.
Oh, I promise.